you know that Elon Musk reinstated Donald Trump. And by the way, I'm here with Matt Orfalea, Kurt Metzger.
Here,
and
want to read his bio or anything?
Everybody knows Matt. It's time to let Alex Jones back on Twitter, says Sam Harris. Says Sam Harris. I like what Sam Harris is saying here. He's, come on. Alex Jones isn't as bad as Trump. That's what he's saying. Because Sam Harris is against letting Trump back on, right? So I guess I should have showed you that tweet first. But here he is advocating to let Alex Jones back on. Isn't that something? Here's what Elon Musk says. He says, suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know what any of that means. And Elon Musk is so annoying sometimes.
Yes.
And this is one of those times. And then,
I think it means he thinks he's God, Jimmy.
And Kim.com.
Is that what it means?
No.
Oh.
Kim.com says Alex fucked up with Sandy Hook. He admitted that and he apologized. He also got a lot of conspiracy theories right. If serial liars like Joe Biden and Donald Trump are allowed on Twitter, then Alex Jones should be allowed too. Please reconsider in the interest of real free speech. He's 100% right about that. You're going to let war criminals? Because war criminals are invited on Twitter. You're going to, and nobody's a bigger liar than Joe Biden or Donald Trump. There's no bigger liars in the world. And I mean, any politician. They're politicians. They're liars. You see how AOC lies? Right? She doesn't take corporate money. She's 100% lying phony. Joe Biden, 100% lying phony, and does take corporate money. So there you go. And they both vote exactly the same way. Duh. So Kim.com's right by that. He comes back, Elon Musk comes back, and he says, my firstborn child died in my arms. I felt his last heartbeat. I have no mercy for anyone who used the deaths of children for gain, politics, or fame. What I don't. Did his firstborn die in his arms from watching Alex Jones? Because then that would make sense. But otherwise, this doesn't make sense. And so now it's like you get to have freedom of speech as long as it doesn't hurt the feelings of the billionaire oligarch who controls the platform.
I also don't believe that's why he's not letting Alex Jones on. I mean, it sounds a little arbitrary, but I think that's him. Like he did a lot of goofy stuff right in the beginning when he found out advertisers were going and all that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not going to be a free for all hellscape. So this is like a real PR way to not allow one person. He probably thinks the president shouldn't be kept off, but he does think Alex Jones should be kept off, right? And then this is a good PR. I have a dead child. It's like real cheesy.
Of course,
he is smart enough to know
it's the most underhanded bullshit thing you could ever do to justify authoritarianism and censorship.
I guess like having everybody take a vote on something that's their right.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Also, I gotta say that Sandy Hook had nothing to do with why Alex Jones was taken down. This was before it was okay to take people down for misinformation.
Oh, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
What did they take him down for?
So I looked up. They never talked about it. They never specified. So it turns out there were 3 videos, and they arguably were hate speech. So there you go. Like
okay.
Yeah.
So I like what Shoe on Head says. Your story is heartbreaking, but this is literally just confirmation that you are making rules based on how you personally feel about things. No mercy for, okay, Mr. Merciful Billionaire. God, can you just run a website like there are war criminals on there?
Doesn't Saudi Arabia like own a big chunk
course.
of this?
The Defense fucking Department has a Twitter account. They bomb hospitals. We run a torture program. They run a torture program in Cuba, at Guantanamo Bay. They get to tweet. They run a torture program. George Bush, nobody kicked him off Twitter. Nobody kicked Dick Cheney off Twitter. They concocted and ran and lied about a torture program. Is there anybody worse than that? Barack Obama ran a drone program that killed 90% women, children, and innocent people. Barack Obama slaughtered innocent people on the regular. If you walked into a mall and you did that with a gun, they'd call you a crazy nut. But if you do it with a drone, people say you're the best president of their lifetime. He's a mass murdering war criminal psychopath. That's actually what Barack Obama is, just like every president.
Well, if you just make stuff that they use for any kind of war thing, which he does, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Like, you kill a bunch of kids and you're getting paid to make I guess it's just that's a foregone conclusion. You do those ones.
The Libertarian Party of New Hampshire stuck it right in his head. They tweeted out these photos of people, little babies dying from a genocide in Yemen that right now Joe Biden is doing. We think Elon should let everyone on Twitter because it's strange he won't reinstate Alex Jones because he said some dumb stuff about Sandy Hook while Jones was not responsible for those deaths. Donald Trump, whom he did reinstate, is responsible for thousands of children's deaths in Yemen.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
One of the first things Trump did was kill an 8-year-old kid in Yemen, I'm pretty sure.
Well, if the thing is, it's for gain. So they didn't like Trump, even though he did these killings for them. So he didn't gain. So that's why.
Elon, I lost my brother in Sandy Hook. My family has been harassed by hoaxers for a decade. But you should reinstate Alex Jones. Coordinated efforts to censor and ban him off social media only deepens his base by, in their eyes, substantiating their crazy conspiracy theories. See, can't both parties come together and understand free speech is whatever a rich guy's personal feelings are, as are all rights? So, it's good to see Sam Harris completely being a contradictory fucking moron.
Well, I don't know. If you read Sam Harris, you understand that there's no such thing as free will. So he really can't help it.
Does he say that?
He's got a whole book about it.
What's the book called? Do you know?
There's no such thing as free will. Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah.
It is amazing how dumb Sam Harris is.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
I didn't even realize he was that dumb until like...
He just talks soft. And I used to make jokes about it.
Yeah.
So if you just talk soft, people think you're smarter than you actually are.
It
And
must be that.
that's all. I had an uncle and he... I think he had a PhD. I'm not sure. But he was a priest also. And he did that. He was a soft talker. And it drove me fucking crazy. Because he was doing... That's a power thing people do.
Mm.
That's a power thing.
Oh, so you have to lean in?
You have to lean in. You have to listen. You have to... Yeah. And that's what Sam Harris
I
says.
think you're right about the fear thing. He sounds like a real... fraidy cat.
He's a fraidy cat of everything.
Yeah.
He's afraid of Muslims. He thinks that Muslims are the most violent people in the world, even though he lives in America, which are the world's terrorists. We have 1,000 military bases. What other country comes close to that? None. We're America's. We're the world's terrorists. We did Libya. We did Iraq. We did Syria. We're still in Syria, stealing their oil. We're doing that genocide in Yemen, Somalia. We're now in Ethiopia. We did Afghanistan for 20 years. What other country has a track record like that? No other country like that. The biggest murdering maniac terrorist state in the world is the United States, and Sam Harris and his ilk are apologizers for genocide, murder, war crimes, and torture. That's what Sam Harris is. He's the opposite of an intellectual.
He came out in the Obama era. It's another one of those things of like, I still in my head, it's Obama times. I didn't really pay attention to what he actually did. And
Yeah.
like, can't we just get back to 2011 and 12? Guys, come on.
So, all right, Alex Jones still not on Twitter. Over to Steph.
Can I?
Oh yeah, what do you want to say?
Well, so we were talking about how Alex Jones was not actually removed because of Sandy Hook or misinformation. Like I said, there were a few videos on YouTube and possibly Facebook that they said had like a line of hate speech, but Twitter held out, if you guys remember. And so the reason Twitter ultimately took Jones down, they said the last straw was he called CNN reporter Oliver Darcy like a rat, or he was like trolling him. And it's like, so basically CNN can, like that's very dangerous, obviously. I mean, he also called him, quote, a possum that crawled out of the rear end of a dead cow. So anyway,
he is those things.
So CNN, and they can call anybody, anti-Semitic, racist, conspiracy theorist, even when there's no evidence whatsoever. But if you call them a rat, you're done.
And just Sam Harris is insulting to everyone's intelligence because he assumes everyone is just a piece of Play-Doh and easily influenced. Nobody has agency. Nobody can take in misinformation and discard it. Everybody is we're just puppets of whoever says anything.
And he's terrified of you.
And he's terrified.
Stupid, easily led. And we need some Sam Harrises on here to let us know it's okay.
So if Elon Musk's firstborn didn't die in his arms, he would let Alex Jones back on?
Oh, he was like this
He
close.
wouldn't give a shit?
If he'd only gotten there 5 minutes.
So he just wouldn't give a shit if his firstborn. So anyway,
he
okay.
felt his last heart. So what does any of this have to do with anything?
Nothing. It doesn't. With that story about his baby dying, which is tragic and horrible, and I can't imagine
I'm
that.
going to double check to see that that's real because I don't fully believe him.
I can't imagine that. But to use that to use that as that emotional fucking blackmail to censor people is completely it's completely bullshit.
Don't you want your Alec Baldwin amount of 7 kids that you do have to live in a world where that kind of nonsense doesn't happen?
All right, over to Steph.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
What?
I'm really happy that the world is being censored based on one dude's emotions.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
What stuff?
I found from Slate.com in 2018, it said Twitter's abuse policy covers a range of objectionable behaviors, such as unwanted sexual advances and wishing bodily harm on someone. The company has not specified exactly which category Jones' behavior falls into, but the prohibition against, quote, using aggressive insults with the purpose of harassing or intimidating others, end quote, would seem to fit best, according to Slate.
People do that all the time on Twitter. People fucking say shit
That's
about me.
reporting.
That's it.
Exactly.
The thing you brought up is right. The number one thing is why is he bringing his kids since Alex Jones wasn't kicked off for that?
Right.
So that's, once again, in your own life elsewhere, you better be good, or we have power over you. Every aspect of your life, you never punch out.
That's right. So that's right. We'll see you November 26th. That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving in Burbank. And then all December, we're going to be in Los Angeles doing Friday night shows. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member. While you're there, you get all of our videos unedited. jimmydore.com, not Jimmy Dore Comedy.